In the 1860s, the world faced an unexpected crisis that had nothing to do with war, famine, or politics. It began with a game. Billiards had become hugely popular across Europe and America, and every professional quality billiard ball required ivory carved from elephant tusks. As demand grew, so did the number of elephants being hunted to supply the booming industry. Fearing a shortage, a New York billiard company offered a reward of $10,000 to anyone who could create a substitute for ivory. The challenge attracted inventors from across the country, but one man became determined to solve it. His name was John Wesley Hyatt. After years of experimentation, Hyatt finally succeeded. In 1869, he introduced celluloid, the world's first commercially successful plastic. The invention had been created to save elephants. Instead, it would change civilization. Celluloid introduced an entirely new possibility. For the first time in history, humanity could manufacture a material rather than harvest one. Nearly 4 decades later, another breakthrough pushed the world deeper into the synthetic age. In 1907, Belgian-American chemist Leo Baekeland created Bakelite, the world's first fully synthetic plastic. Unlike celluloid, it relied entirely on chemistry rather than natural ingredients. Telephones, radios, electrical switches and household products could suddenly be manufactured faster, cheaper and in far greater quantities. Manufacturers called it the material of 1,000 uses. To many people, plastic seemed to promise a future without limits. During the 1930s, chemical companies developed nylon, vinyl, acrylic, polystyrene and polyethylene, discovering that materials could now be engineered to meet specific human needs. When the World War II erupted in 1939, governments urgently needed lightweight materials for aircraft, communication systems and military equipment. Plastic quickly became indispensable. Between 1940 and 1945, American plastic production nearly tripled as governments invested heavily in synthetic manufacturing plants. By the end of the war, the factories existed and production capacity had reached unprecedented levels. Factories that had once supplied military contracts began producing furniture, toys, food containers, packaging and synthetic fabrics for ordinary families. In 1957, visitors to Disneyland's Tomorrowland toured a fully plastic home built by Monsanto. The exhibit was called the House of the Future, and it promised visitors that families of the 21st century would live surrounded by plastics in every aspect of daily life. The next major turning point arrived in 1975 with the introduction of the PET plastic bottle. For generations, consumers had returned glass bottles to be cleaned, refilled and reused. Disposable plastic containers transformed that system completely. Single-use packaging reduced costs, simplified distribution and encouraged a culture of convenience that spread rapidly across the global economy. By the late 1980s, however, the consequences were becoming impossible to ignore. Plastic waste accumulated in landfills, rivers carried debris to the oceans, and environmental concerns entered mainstream discussion. The 21st century brought an even more unsettling discovery. Sunlight, wind and waves simply broke larger objects into smaller and smaller fragments until they became nearly invisible. Scientists began finding these microplastics in oceans, rivers, Arctic ice, rainfall and eventually inside fish, birds and marine mammals. Eventually, they found them inside the human body. The material invented to protect elephants had become one of the most widespread substances on Earth. Today, humanity produces hundreds of millions of tons of plastic every year, and modern civilization depends on it in ways that often go unnoticed. Plastic may be remembered because it changed the world so completely that escaping it became impossible.